Sean.
Hi.
You okay?
Yeah.
They hurt you?
No.
What about your mum?
I don't know. I haven't seen her. Dad.
Yeah?
What's gonna happen?
I don't know, son. I don't know.
To reduce our strength out on the perimeter.
The inner cities certainly need a presence. You've got reports of terrorways running amok.
Not really. Mine is.
Exactly. If you can keep units out on the road, I can move our people in. Nothing serious, but worth taking care of.
By the way, I'm practically out of cigarettes. This was one of your chaps that picked me up in the car.
It started. 2 of our tornadoes have been shot down over the German border near Brunswick.
Have we retaliated?
Not yet. This is a digest of the latest of critics from GCHQ. It seems the Americans and the Russians have done a deal. No first use on either side. On their respective homelands, that is.
They're agreeing that if we have to go nuclear, we go nuclear in Europe.
Cozy for them, isn't it? The military have a term for this. We've just become the KZ. The killing zone.
I just don't get it, see? Everything's going sweet as a nut. And there they are. Everywhere. Mob-handed. They were waiting for me. They didn't talk to you, did they? You know, ask you questions.
Yeah, a bit.
About me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And?
I didn't tell them where you'd gone, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, no, well, good luck.
Annie McPhee. We've never met, have we?
No, we haven't.
You're Sandra?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They're treating you okay, are they?
Yeah. There's tea in the machine. It's awful. Yeah, have a biscuit.
You sure?
Yeah, go on, take them.
I'm starving. That's the thing about interrogation. It gives you a real appetite. Sandra, what the hell are you doing here?
What do you think? Dave.
The time to watch is the hour before dawn. If they're going to do anything, that's when. Stand to, kit on, one up the spout. Doesn't really apply to this war, does it? Mind you, it could be dawn in Moscow or the States or wherever.
Yeah.
I don't know. America, Russia, it's all the same to me. Nobody's that crazy.
Yes. Fine. Well, that's it.
What?
Nuclear aggression in Europe will be met by force and in full.
Independent of the Americans?
On Moscow, Leningrad, Kiev. This'll upset the Americans. They rather expect us to toe the line. Having Polaris submarines is one thing. Using them is quite another.
What are we supposed to do? Sit and wait
Yes.
for the PM to push the button?
Yes.
You think that'll happen?
Oh, yes.
Right to your mum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big H has done a runner.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying.
With our money.
I know.
You said he'd come through on the marine radio.
He will. Channel 16.
When?
I don't know. He's probably been trying. He's got flat batteries or something.
Look, I changed the batteries yesterday. They're brand new.
Atmospheric conditions then. I don't know. Interference.
Interference my arse.
He's probably out of range.
Yeah, exactly. So where is he?
I don't know.
Hungry?
No, thanks.
Really? Things must be getting serious.
Dad,
Well?
there's something I didn't tell you. You know that roll of film you gave me? I hid it in the car. I stopped...
Gillespie. Down you go.
Sit down. Thanks. Okay. I'll make it easy for you.
Beg your pardon?
I said, I'll make it easy for you. Yes, it was me who did your bloke in the car park. I nicked his gun and his ID. And yes, it was me who was about to sod off on my boat before you went to the trouble of blowing it up.
Yes. Now, about these photos.
What photos?
The photos your son mentioned 55 minutes ago. Now, Mr. Gillespie, we can handle this in a civilized way. I'm thinking of your son, Mr. Gillespie.
Controller?
Can you talk?
Yes.
How are you?
It's not good. Where are you?
Standing in the hall.
With the children.
James, will you keep quiet? Are you still there?
Yes.
Marshal Quinn, sound the alert. Yes, now.
God, that really scares me. Yeah, me too.
What's that? Albie, what is it? That's an air raid siren.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is. What does it mean?
Well, it means we got about 5 minutes.
Henry, the siren's gone off. Come on. Okay, just a minute.
Martin, I'm so scared. I wish you were here with us.
I wish I could be.
I do love you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Jay. Sorry I shouted at you.
Sean? Come over here, son.
What are we going to do?
Well, you're thinking of something?
Yeah. You're not a religious man, are you, by any chance?
What do you mean? God?
Oh, Mum.
Albie Curtis on the wheels of steel! Spin some wax, dude!
Exactly.
Well, is it going to happen or what?
Otherwise, we might as well turn the bloody thing off. It's driving me potty.
Mr. Controller?
Search me.
Haven't a clue. Well, someone's had second thoughts.
Does that seem like an all clear to you?
I think it does. For the time being.
You're wanted.
What happened to the war then?
God knows.
War over, is it? All clear?
Postponed.
Yeah, well, that's a relief.
Where were these taken?
At the dock.
And what's this?
A young lady in her flat by the sea.
She doesn't look too good, does she?
She's dead.
Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And you took that photograph?
Obviously.
Why? As in why? All your own work, is it? Who is she, anyway?
Why not ask your controller?
Beg your pardon?
I said, why not ask your controller who the lady is?
Do you mean Mr. Goodman?
I mean Mr. Goodman.
Why should I want to do that?
Well, try and you might find out.
Where are we back to?
Alert state 7.
Business as usual.
Yeah.
More or less.
Get ambulance. Get scenes of crime.
5504, control.
Go ahead.
Station 57. 5237. Can you contact the ambulance scenes of crime?
You still haven't answered my question.
Huh? Haven't I?
What were you doing in the docks? Why did you take these pictures?
I've a friend in the media. A journalist. She likes these juicy sort of stories. In fact, she eats them alive.
Miss McPhee?
You've got her too.
Of course.
Here.
Up the corridor.
Nice one.
How well do you know Dave?
Quite well.
I think. I know what you mean. Does he still have those awful kippers for his breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very difficult man, Dave. Very hard to get to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you're getting there sometimes, but... Seems funny, you know, you and him. You're not his type.
What do you mean?
Well, he hates journalists.
I know.
Like politicians. Come to think of it, he hasn't got that much time for anybody. Except his precious bloody Marines, and he even screwed that up and all.
Oh, you mean Ballycoon?
Did he tell you about that?
Yeah.
You're not in love with him, are you?
Yeah. I think I am.
Let's try again.
Okay. It's really quite neat. Now, what you've got is a wall around the city. Roadblocks, police, the odd patrol. Now, most people are doing what they're told to do, you know, staying put. Except, of course, for those who can afford to leg it. Now, who would they be? Well, there's him for a start. He's a property developer. She runs the tarts for the business crowd. And there's old Lenny Bishop there, the gaming machines. Now, what have this lot got in common? Money. Sick, isn't it? While you, me, and Aunt Fanny down the road sit tight and wait for the big one, this lot of comedians have got themselves a sort of second chance. They're laughing, mate. So's he. Harry Cartwright. Well, it's the same old story, really. Dog eats dog. Mind you, there are a few faces here that don't really belong. Her, for instance. Molly Quinn. She's the wife of our chief of police. Oh, yes. Now, what's she doing with this motley crew? Okay. So you're Harry Cartwright, and you can never resist a deal. So you get yourself a boat and some cargo. Frightened friends, clients, the odd business associate. But getting away is against the law. So what do? The very clients who can pay are the very people who can get you out of the harbor. Neat. So, Molly Quinn, these two, the chief medico's wife, you've made your money and you've broken out. And what's sweeter still, it's all done with official blessing.
Do you have a moment?
Come in.
I don't know why I've been landed with this, but I'm very sorry. A neighbor found her last night.
Susie.
Yes.
Dead?
I'm afraid so. Like I say, I'm very sorry. She meant a great deal to you, didn't she?
No. I meant a great deal to her. If only she'd been on the boat. When this whole thing blew up, I took it as an opportunity to set her free for her sake. I don't know. Meet someone of her own age. I'd imagined that in the future, if we had a future, she'd look back on her and I with some fondness. If I'd thought this was She was always drinking too much, waking with strangers, dieting too much, everything to excess.
No, thank you, Sergeant.
Security Council have opened negotiations.
Thank God. Sanity's prevailed. The game's not worth the candle. Never was. Never will be.
She was like a daughter to me. I used to watch it when she was asleep. I'm sorry. You have no family. It must seem absurd.
I had a family. A wife. And a son. Now I'm on my own.
Can I have your attention, please? I'm pleased to tell you that negotiations have started under the auspices of the Security Council.
It's fresh milk to celebrate.
Where's Nigel?
Well, he's in Davidson's office. He did say not to be disturbed except for dire emergencies. Do you think fresh milk qualifies?
I'm sure it does.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You take my point.
I do indeed.
We can get the damn boat back, that's no problem. But we have a scandal on our hands. I'm not necessarily suggesting that Martin is in any way culpable.
No, of course not.
But nevertheless, he is involved.
Quite. There is another dimension, too, if I may say so.
Really?
Well, if and when you all get back to normal, there's bound to be an inquiry. Questions to be answered. Media sniffing about. As far as it goes, we seem to have got away with it. No major riots, nothing very serious, except this. The rich and the powerful.
And my wife.
And your wife. All making good their escape in very dubious company. Hardly smacks of good citizenship, does it?
No, it doesn't. Damn Martin, down his eyes. He knew this was going to be a delicate operation, and he's made a complete balls up of it. I just hope to God that we can keep the lid on it.
Don't worry, Quinn. I'm sure your pension's safe.
Mick? Mick?
Hello.
I've got nowhere to crash.
Did she kick you out again?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Thanks. Thanks, Mick. Mick. Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Mick.
They're all back. Hello.
Jesus. Oh, when did it happen?
What?
World War III.
Oh. Never again.
Albie.
Yes, Mick?
Get us an aspirin.
Strong one. Mick? What? The boat's back.
In good faith. You told me 12 passengers in secrecy. I counted 40 on those photographs. This mustn't come out.
Nigel, my word of honor. I know nothing of the dealings of Harry Cartwright.
Then why did you put him in charge?
I understand your position. If you think an investigation is appropriate.
It may be.
I can give you access to my bank statements, my correspondence, anything you need.
It could well come to that. You understand the implications, don't you, for all of us? How it's bound to look.
What time's the boat due back?
1:30 with 10 minutes in hand. I cannot afford to be implicated. Harry Cartwright.
Right, ladies, let the car through.
Who are you?
Mr. Gillespie, contrary to popular belief, we civil servants are very much in favor of keeping things simple. So here goes. First of all, we find a body. Next, we're obliged to conduct an investigation. Finally, we have to try and identify the person or persons responsible. Now, to do that, we need to establish a chain of events. Are you with me so far? Good. Now, still keeping it simple, a Mr. Goodman is having an affair with a Miss Wallace. That's a very nice photo, if I may say so. Now, Mrs. Goodman is very upset by this, so upset that she hires a man to take care of the problem. And that's you on the right. And this one shows our Miss Wallace well and truly taken care of. Now, is all this simple enough for you to follow?
I understand they've been to Jersey and back, and that Cartwright's no longer with them. Does that surprise you?
Nothing surprises me about Harry.
No. Could we be alone? I was sorry to hear about your, Miss Wallace, nasty business.
Tragedy. Sweet girl. I hardly knew her. I'm surprised there weren't more suicides.
I believe there's a suspect. A man named Gillespie. Oliver's handling it for the time being.
I didn't do it.
So you keep saying.
And you know I didn't do it.
What makes you say that?
Because you said nothing about Mrs. Goodman. If she'd paid me to kill that girl, you'd have arrested her. Conspiracy to murder. Have you arrested her? Bit too close to home, eh? Governor's missus. Is that why you had me followed? And how did you know where I'd put my boat?
Let's talk about Annie McPhee.
Is that an answer to my question?
Does she matter to you?
What?
Are you close?
What are you talking about?
Do you sleep with her?
Of course I do.
Is it the kind of relationship where you share everything? You discuss your work, for instance? All the little things you get up to?
If you were talking about this little lot, no. I've never discussed it.
Post-mortem?
No, not yet.
Did they have any idea?
Could have been a fall. Easily. She's very unlucky, poor girl. You ready?
Yes. It is Miss Wallace.
Our body, Miss Wallace.
Yeah?
Let's assume she was murdered, and let's consider the evidence. Just talk it through between the two of us. You had the motivation. You were being paid by the jilted wife. You had the means. You're a fit man, and you had the opportunity because you were obviously in her flat. Now that's game, set, and match in my book, without mentioning your service record.
You're playing games.
Am I? Tell me, is there something attractive about killing people?
I was a soldier. That's what you're trained for.
But it's supposed to begin and end on the battlefield, isn't it?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about McMullen.
Yes. Tessie McMullen, you were lucky not to go down for that, weren't you? Did you assess the risk before you killed him? You did execute him. Judge and jury.
Nothing was ever proved.
So I believe. Still, shame you had to resign there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Tell me something else. Miss Wallace. What was she like?
Frightened. Out of her depth.
Did you feel sorry for her?
What do you think?
Do you think she was murdered?
She got in with a pretty heavy bunch. She knew too much for her own good. So yes, I suppose. Yes. I suppose I do.
Hello, Miss McPhee. Your photos, ones you took before we asked you to join us.
Can I have them?
Certainly. We have nothing to hide. Some are a bit blurred, I'd say, but I expect that's the effect you're after. Snatched shots, city under siege. That's the way it goes, isn't it?
If you say so.
This is a nice one. What's so special about a city bus?
was full of pregnant women from the maternity hospital. I think they were being evacuated.
Ah, yes. Local colour. Tell me, Miss McPhee, when all this nonsense is over, are you going to be able to use these photos?
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of touch.
Thank you very much, Miss McPhee. You've been a tremendous help.
You mean I can go?
But of course, I'm only sorry we've kept you so long.
I'd like my file.
Others? Oh, don't worry, we'll destroy it for you.
Let's say that our Miss Wallace, Susie, was a very unhappy person and just a little bit frightened. And let's say that on that particular evening, she'd had just a bit too much to drink. You must remember, the man she loved had left her. The world was about to blow up. And on top of that, she was pregnant. Now, if she had been drinking heavily that evening, would she really have been in control of herself? Might she not have slipped, taken a fall? I mean a really nasty fall that brought her head up against the corner of the coffee table. And if that was the case, might not her death be attributable to misadventure? And wouldn't that make life so much easier, Sergeant? Anyway, take your time. Your choice.
Help. Thank you, Evans.
That's all right, sir.
I understand you've got a foreign posting.
Yes, sir. I'm off to Belize next week.
Bad luck.
Hey, where's my boy? Open the door!
Copies of the latest edition of TV Times should be back in the shops by the weekend. So on that note, it's goodbye for the time being from us here in London. We close as we opened on tonight's historic scenes from the Security Council in New York.
Are you sure they'll let him go?
Well, they seem pretty certain. Whatever that means.
Well, Sergeant, what's it going to be?